What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm out here, I'm putting an evaporator core in this T4 New Holland tractor. I wasn't really even going to make a video on this. I'm not sure how many people have a T4 tractor to start with, and especially that'd be putting an evaporator core in themselves. But I figured maybe somebody wants to watch it and see how it's done anyway. So we ordered a new evaporator core. It just come in. It comes with the new expansion valve, which is this thing already attached to it. And I'm going to show you up in here in the tractor. It's pretty simple. You do have to remove that expansion valve. I have it laid here. You do have to remove that. It's just two little Allen bolts from the other side right there. And you do have to remove that in order to get it to slip down inside of the box here, because the expansion valve sticks on the end of these lines and it will not come down and clear this bar because I have the bolts loose on the box here, but you can see you still have your heater core and your heater lines and everything still going through the cab. So it just slips down in there. Once you take the expansion valve off, you can slip it down in there. And this is your little temperature probe here, a little plastic piece. It just slips inside of there. And we're going to put a little AC oil on these lines here, and then stick the expansion valve back on here. And it's going to be quite fun to tighten it up. I'm going to have to get up under the hood and come through that hole in the firewall there. As you can see where the lines come through, and probably tighten that up. It's going to be quite fun. I'm sure you could probably take the heater core out as well and gain some more clearance, and maybe take this whole box out and get to it a different way. But this is the way I'm going about doing it, and so we're going to see if that works out. Pulling those lines under the hood out of the way, and put the expansion valve back down in here. Like I say, put a little AC oil on here, lubricate those O-rings, and we're going to get this tightened up, put in. So I'll be right back. Alright guys, this is the old expansion valve here. I want to show you, see the studs sticking out of it. I took the studs out of the new one that I just stuck in there. I've got it up under there, and I went up under the hood and put the bolts in from the other side with a T-handle 4mm Allen wrench. Is what those bolts that I put in right down in those two holes on the front, and they come through right there, as you can see, and go through that little metal bracket that holds the lines in right there. You can see how that's done there. Anyway, I got the new studs. I'm going to get up under the hood and put the new studs in the new expansion valve. I just got this old one here in my hand to show you, because it'll be a little bit more clear because it's hard to see up under the hood. I have really no way of being able to do that, being able to reach up under there and record it at the same time. But here's the AC oil PAG 100. It's what I'm putting on the O-rings. I always use that. You can use PAG 150 or whatever you have. These are the studs. I'm going to get up under there, stick them through. And then the lines up under the hood just stick through. I can show you that. I do believe you can see up under there. They just stick through there, and got a 10mm nut that holds them on. It's nothing too fancy. It's just way up in there and you can't get to it. That's the only problem there. You can see right there, I got to put the studs in, and then the lines just have a little O-ring on the end of them. We're going to clean those off and clean the dirt off the end of it, lubricate the O-ring, and stick it over the stud when I get them in there, and put a nut on them and tighten them up. And then we'll have to snug that plastic box back up to the firewall there. Alright guys, this is the plastic cover that goes back over it. I got the studs back in the expansion valve. I have not hooked the lines up yet. I think it'll be easier to do once I get this cover back down and get this bolted back to the firewall. It'll be rigid and make it easier for me to hook the lines up. So there's not much to this. It just goes on there. It's got a couple bolts here on the sides that goes down here, and then a couple that goes into the firewall there and whatnot. So it just kind of goes on there. Probably gonna have to cut the camera off and use both hands though to get it down in there, because it's going to be a little difficult, but it's not much to it other than that. Alright guys, I got it snapped back down on there. Hadn't got it bolted up yet, but yeah, that's just kind of how it goes there. I put all the bolts in it, and get her pulled up. It's a little bit difficult. I hadn't even got it snapped all the way in up here yet. It's a little bit difficult to get the thing up in there. Pretty much impossible to do trying to record it, but anyway, this is how your little wire comes through the hole over here that goes to your temp probe on the evaporator core, and then this here little relay goes there. That plugs back in. I'll have to put a bolt in that and get this twisted back up, tightened down and everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the bolts in it after I get something to drink, and we'll get her fastened back up and get the lines hooked up, and we'll pull a vacuum on it, and I'll be letting it pull a vacuum while I'm putting the dash and everything back in. Alright guys, so I've got it bolted all back up in there, and I want to show you something. I've got a vacuum pulled on the system right now. I'm letting it see if it's going to hold, make sure I ain't got no leaks and everything. But what I want to show you is these pieces right here that go down into the floor and come up and come in behind here. That's where your airflow, where your blower fan pulls air from the outside through here and pushes it into there. And on the back of your cab here, there's one on each side. You have this panel. You can see the panel over there. I removed it here, and you have a cabin air filter right there. And as you can tell, it has not been changed or done anything with in quite some time. Can't even get the darn things loose. But that right there is what helps to keep the dirt out of the AC system and the condenser, not the condenser, but the evaporator core in the dash there. So you need to take and clean these out pretty regular. If you're in a hayfield type environment, a real dusty environment, because all this stuff gets up in there and it will clog your evaporator core up, and it can cause it to leak by the cow poop or chicken poop or whatever you're around, leaves or whatnot, setting on that El Cheapo made aluminum evaporator core will cause it to rot the aluminum and cause the pit marks in it that you've seen. Well, I didn't show it in this video, but in the other video where the other one was leaking, it had pit marks in it, in the top of it. And I found some more after I got it out as well when I pressure tested it. But that will cause those pit marks in there, and it will cause it to leak. And this is not a very good setup for an evaporator core as far as I'm concerned. I don't know what happened to the old days when you had a copper tube that routed around with fins in it, a fin type tube cooler. I guess they didn't break, so they had to eliminate that and go with something that does break every few years, so that they could sell you a new one for $300 and make money. I understand, but I mean, I just don't understand why they don't make the stuff where it lasts longer. I mean, I guess from a money point of view, it's great now that it doesn't last very long, but it sure was great when you didn't have to work on this stuff, and it lasted a long time when you paid a lot of money for it. But that's just my thought. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and pull this cab filter out and clean that up, because I don't have a new one. He didn't get me a new one. So I'm going to clean it out, blow it out with air, put it back in there, so we get good fresh air coming up in here, going into this new evaporator core. Alright guys, I got the dash put back in. We got everything hooked up. We got the air filters back in the fenders here. I got that blowed out and put back in. There's not much to the dash thing here that goes down. It's just got like 4 screws in it. Well, it's actually 6, but you can leave the ones on the bottom here out. They're up under here. And the dash has been out before to work on the clutch pedal switch up under here. It's got a wet clutch in it. And you just have a switch right there that operates it with that pin. So the dash has been out before, and you can leave these screws at the bottom. It's not going anywhere. You have a screw here on each side, and you have 2 screws up under this cover up here with a bar that goes across, and that's pretty much all that holds it in there. It's solid, as you can see. It's a pretty snug fit. You have to fold your steering column down all the way to get it to go in behind there, and it's still a pretty snug fit. But that's about it. On those air filters, it pulls air from here and goes through the air filters and then comes back around up in there behind the evaporator core. I cleaned all that stuff out, got everything put back together. I like it. I think he'll like it. This thing needs a bath. I did take an air blower and tried to blow out in here the best I could, but it is still plenty filthy and definitely needs a bath, and the windows need to be washed and all that stuff. But that is not my job, and this is not my tractor, so I'm not going to do that. So that concludes this video. So we'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.